Hi everyone, it's Ruby from Ahmedabad. Again, another very beautiful day here with lovely friends. And today I am in interview with a very young person, young guy, vibrant, transformational speaker, motivational speaker, and probably the youngest in Gujarat, possibly in India too, because he's done a lot of interviews. He's 18 years of age, and he's going to be interviewing me today, and it's going to be a hell of an interview, because at 18 years of age you have this brilliant raw mind that is not so conditioned. It's fresh, it's new. So I look forward to this interview with Aditya Bhavsar today. So please stay put, give your comments, and we'll be watching. It's a podcast along with the FB Live. So just join in and stay with us.
Oh. Yeah. Do you know what happens to people like you who ask too many questions? You asked Jimmy, one of my best friends. No. What? I asked. I was quite puzzled. There was a complete silence between both of us. Breaking the calmness of the silence, my friend Jimmy said, "Damned if I know. Probably they get answers and serve them right." Well, welcome to Interview with Aditya, a place where we deconstruct and simplify the road to success. As you might already know, success is an art. You can never copy or duplicate any success, but you can always model from giants who have already achieved greatness that we are seeking for. I think if you are a person who is seeking to achieve greatness in life, I think this is a pretty perfect place for you to be in. Today we have someone who is exceptionally phenomenal with us. She is powerful mystic, spiritual guide, amazing public speaker, student of greatness, creator of joy, producer of happiness, an incredibly successful entrepreneur, passionately compassionate woman, a soul on a journey to transformation to transform as many lives as she possibly can. She is author of 2 best-selling books, 1 Billion Balloons, The Soul Promise. She has touched so many hearts in this world. She is just amazing, leader, spiritual leader. So let's welcome with a great honor, Shri Rubi Bedi. Thank you, ma'am, for tuning in.
Thank you. Thank you for your time.
Okay. Ma'am, how could you describe
your energy is very contagious, so it's easy to talk to you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. How would you describe yourself in 6 words?
6 words?
Yeah.
Spiritual thought leader, mystic, lover of the unknown, believing in greater life, believing in a powerful awakened humanity. So believer of life basically, and goodness, greatness in life. Bold, powerful, straightforward, sage, spiritual, what else? All the way spiritual, hardcore spiritual. I believe that entire existence is spiritual. It's a play of spirit, it's an act of spirit. And so that just makes me really hardcore, because I stick to the basics and those facts.
What's your living philosophy?
Living philosophy is to live awakened life. So enlightened mind, awakened mind, and brilliant living. Yeah. Everybody deserves a chance, the best chance to create. And you can do that if you have the enlightened, awakened resource, which is within us, the intelligence, the intuition, the energy. So I would say necessary, you need enlightenment. You need enlightened mind for greater life. Yeah.
Yes. Today there are a lot of beautiful faces, but very few beautiful hearts.
Yeah.
What impact do you want to leave in this world before you leave it?
A radical awakening. I would like to transform as many millions of people as I can, touch them in any way, show them their power, awaken them to their highest potential. So I would like to die at least after awakening many people. Yeah.
Who comes to your mind when you think of the word successful, and why?
I think people who are determined. So determined, who have stuck to their cause the most. Nelson Mandela, definitely. Anybody even going through the hardships and yet not dropping their cause. And so somebody like that. And then brilliant sages, Ramana Maharishi, and many others. The rishis, the legacy of rishis, all those rishis. I have not had direct masters or teachers, but I was awakened all from the non-physical plane by many, many, many masters and many dimensions. So, but I find success and greatness if you can be determined in doing what you want to do and keep doing despite the adversity.
So, what are the 3 people or sources that you have learned from or followed closely in the last 3 years?
3 years, I have a friend in Canada, Eckhart Tolle. I love his presence.
Yes.
And I have definitely spent time with him and as a friend many years ago. And I respect and admire that deep presence. And it has touched me. Other people would be Oprah Winfrey was always a great model, is a great model for not just North America, all over the world. It didn't matter what she learned, but she could bring that learning to the world.
She has suffered a lot, and that's why she has achieved the greatness.
Yes, I really believe that she has used pain the best way possible to bring joy in to light up many people's lives. So she would definitely be second. And who else? I'm actually inspired by musicians too. Any creative person, yeah, because they have the ability to take you into a world where you haven't stepped before. So.
Yes. Okay. If you have one gigantic billboard anywhere with anything on it, metaphorically speaking, getting a message out to millions or billions, what would it say and why? It could be a few words or a paragraph, maybe a quote that you live by or think of very often.
Die to the life or the mind that's not working for you, and bring you back into your life with your own soul. Like awaken yourself. But for that you have to die to all that is still ignorant in you, that is still dark. So die and wake up to your own life would be my billboard. Yeah.
If you had to instill one piece of advice in a newborn baby's mind, what advice would you give?
Smile. Keep smiling.
How does your morning ritual look like? Or is there any specific or unique thing that your first 60-minute behold?
Yes, definitely. 60 minutes are, I think, where you can gather your power and you can start your day with great power. So self-governance, first 60 minutes, I don't like to be disturbed. They usually, if I'm not touring, I'm living in a place, I would do something very physical first 20 minutes, like walking or something else, or then do yoga, then do meditation. So first 60 minutes are basically feeding the body that I eat something very quickly after that too. So it's self-governing. And I feel that a lot of people give up their power in the first hour of their day. And I actually hold that power.
Social media is that power killer.
Yes, it is.
90% of people today start their day with emails, and that drains their 30% of productivity for the...
Yes, and it's not even work. They are just because they don't know what else to do. They don't have strong rituals or habits. So cultivating first hour of the day and last hour at night is most important. Staying away from the world unless you absolutely have to. You know, if you're a doctor on call, that's your calling. But if it's not your really emergency, then that is when you hold your power.
Yes. If you're a customer care executive, it's fine. But if you are not, then you shouldn't keep checking your emails and something like that. Because
emails are actually, again, if it is your work related, then also it's like you need to have some governance around that. It's not just curiosity, but the addiction is far greater because people are lonely now. A lot of people are depressed. Even when they have people around them, they're still alone. They're feeling depressed. So we've taken to phone our social media, and you see that often in malls, everywhere else. Even young couples who've just gotten married, and you'll see both of them are on social media. They're not talking to each other. People don't talk to each other. They have their phones on the table right beside. They're actually rather more interested in who is liking something from them on Facebook than actually communicating with the person.
There was a time I was in cafe sitting with one of my friends. I saw a couple who was very next to me, and both were there, but both sitting there were with someone else. They were both stammering like anything on their smartphone, but they didn't have any sense of presence or anything like that.
No, I saw a couple in Goa recently at the airport, and they were on their selfies. It was honeymoon couple. The woman was wearing all that red chura, and so the fun part was that they were taking their selfies, their own selfies with their own phones. They weren't even taking a selfie together. With their own phone, they were taking their pictures. This is a bright new couple who's just started life. So good luck.
But what advice would you... So what advice would you love to give to anyone who's seeking to pursue career and thrive in your area of expertise? If someone wants to be a spiritual leader and mystic like you, then what is the best advice they should adopt, and what is the worst advice that they shouldn't go for it?
See, it's not my area of expertise. Who is not spiritual? Everybody is born of spirit. That makes you spiritual. That makes you, everybody has a soul, right? So the fact you have a living current in you, you are spiritual. So you're living very much a spiritual life. But what has happened is somewhere we actually separated this. We made religion separate, finance separate, health separate, relations separate. It's not. It's one big continuous drama act of life, 24/7. Like for instance, there's no division between time. But if you look at 2 o'clock and 3 o'clock, it looks different. But where does the 2 o'clock stop if you don't have a clock? There's no way. So it is a continuum, and that is what life is. It's just going on. So spirituality is the continuum, the ocean of consciousness in which everything is happening, whether it be your health, your life, your death, your children, your finance, your whatever else is happening in this sphere of consciousness. So which makes us all spiritual. Now, everybody should be exploring at least their roots, not just their legacy of their parents, which is one thing, but their root of origin, right? So one needs to go into the history, one needs to go, and when you do that, it is all spirit, it is all spiritual. The unknown is manifesting with the spiritual science. So all the laws of manifestation are actually the spiritual laws. So it's who isn't spiritual, and if we are all spiritual, then everybody has a choice to master consciously the art of spirit, the art of living. And when you do that, it makes you the expert. I have devoted all my life only to this but I have done other businesses, very ambitious entrepreneur. But my goal was that the power that I have inside me should be the same power I should create outside. My outside world and inside world of spirit should actually be same quality. So this is where your spiritual sense comes to you. So everybody is a spiritualist.
Okay. What was the last thing you did that you think is worth remembering?
Worth remembering? I think my birth. I remember my birth the most. Because
what's the last thing that...
last thing today?
Yeah, no, maybe in month or a couple of months.
That's worth remembering.
Yes, that's worth remembering.
I think the one thing that is most important for me to remember is that I should never forget who I am. So it's not even about remembering, it's about I never want to forget who I am. Yeah.
Identity.
So, yeah, my identity, my soul identity. Yeah. Because that is my core. If I forget that, my entire day, my entire life gets messed up. I start to mimic other people. I start to copy. I get conditioned, influenced. Then I've lost myself totally.
Today a lot of people are blank faces. If you ask them who I am, then they are like, I am who I am.
Yeah.
That is not I am asking what actually you are. Then they'll say names and something like that. But they don't know who they really are.
They don't know.
What's their identity? They are speechless. They just kid around and joke that I am who I am.
And when people talk about identity, they talk about their personality. I'm angry, I'm young, I'm old, I'm rich, I'm poor. But they never go beyond that surface. So when we talk about, like Ramana Maharishi said, who are you? He didn't mean your name, he didn't mean your father's name, he didn't mean your address. He actually meant as consciousness, who are you? If you're light, if you're particles, then what is your origin? When you get to know why this question is asked is, when you find out your origin, automatically you claim your power. That's why the question led to you being the most powerful person on the planet. Yeah.
What obsessions do you explore on the evenings or weekends?
I love music. I love watching movies. I find them great entertainment, and it triggers my imagination. So I watch a lot of movies, and sometimes I take to books, but often not, because I have a very rich imagination. So I spend a lot of time with myself, just in my own world. Yeah.
What is an unusual habit or something crazy that you love?
Crazy that I love.
I personally believe that normal people are only those whose craziest side we are not aware of.
Yes.
But everyone has something that they love or they are passionate about.
Yeah. I have had this fascination about the unknown. And I always, even when I'm looking at people or I'm looking at a plant, I'm looking at anything, I always feel that let me remove this mask, see what's there. So I tend to destroy a lot of masks. So a lot of things I destroy just to see what's inside. So I would be, and Eckhart Tolle, we were good friends at one time. He's in North America. He's a mystic, sage, spiritual leader also. And he once said, Ruby, you're an iconoclast. Iconoclast is someone who has learned the art to destroy so they can look at creation, they can create. So, but it's through the art of destruction. So I have tendencies to destroy a lot of things, especially those that are not working.
In the last 5 years, what new belief, behavior or habit has most improved your life?
Yeah, very good. The belief that has actually, it's a knowing more than a belief that has really caught me and have gravitated towards it, that I can choose any given belief any moment that fits my situation. That has freed me a lot, because I'm not tied or bound to right belief, wrong belief, or those moral codes like a lot of people are. I just feel that we have 10,000 emotions, we have tons of beliefs. I can create a belief as per my situation. Then I can drop the belief when it doesn't call for. So I have learned that not to basically stick to, so it's not a hard mindset. It's a floating consciousness. It's just growth mindset, and I can pick and choose and drop as easily my thoughts, my emotions, my beliefs, my habits, all of them. Yeah.
What advice would you give to a smart, passionate, driven college student ready to enter the real world? And what advice should they ignore?
Never to let anybody rob their fire. And don't worry, even when you think you're doing wrong, sometimes keep doing it, that wrong will become right. When you have this power in you, sometimes we can't make sense what is happening and it's not fitting the world model. And at that time, a lot of people drop things because they want approval. They feel that maybe I'm not quite all right. But it is very important to look into the inner mirror rather than just outside, and believe in yourself and keep doing it, because every right will become a wrong, and every wrong becomes a right after a while if you're determined and focused. But always the right intention helps. So right intention is very important, that I'm here on this planet for a short time, I'm going to make the greatest impact.
We are here for very limited number of breaths.
Limited breaths, and I'm going to make a very strong impact. Yeah.
And what advice should they ignore?
Basically, people who tell them that it can't be done, they're not good enough, they're not ready enough, and so they have to find strength in themselves. So you have to ignore any negativity coming from your environment. Yeah.
What are the lessons that you think life taught you a hard way?
You know, life taught me something very profound, and which I was not ready to learn. There was, whatever we do, we seem to create also, along with the goodness, a lot of pain. Because, you know, sometimes you do things that hurt others, even though they're good for the world, they're good for you later. So there's a lot of pain that we as human beings, chaos we human beings create. Now, not having the physical teachers and masters, I had to go through the journey of awakening myself. So what I learned later was that we create pain consciously, because pain can take us deeper and make us think in ways we couldn't think otherwise. Otherwise, it's very surface living. But I used to first avoid pain to bring in joy, to bring in happiness, right? And then, so that's a band-aid treatment, and I was destroying my pain. I was robbing my pain of its goodness. Then somewhere it clicked that pain has its role. I'm not going to rob myself. I'm going to be in pain if I need to. And even if I create painful situations, it'll only take me deeper. Yeah. So when pain becomes your best friend, not that I learned to tolerate it, not that I learned to ignore it, I actually looked at it with enthusiastically, because I knew that this is the way. So that is a hard lesson that I learned, and I learned it later because I spent many years trying to ignore pain, trying to cure pain. So now I don't rob pain, I don't cure pain. Actually, when pain comes, it's good news.
There is a wonderful quote by Anthony Robbins. He says that problems are the gifts that we grow from.
Yes.
They lead us to greater growth, aliveness, love, strength, and certainty.
Yeah.
So that's something that, because, you know, whenever problem tries to obstruct you, in fact, Sanjay Rawal, he also told me once that whenever any problem tries to obstruct you, I construct something beautiful.
Yes. It gives you an opportunity to look at life differently.
In a different perspective.
And when you are in pain, usually you don't have ego around it, because you're already in surrender.
You're already down.
Already down. Yeah. There's nowhere to go. So that is a great moment then to actually take yourself down even more. Not negative thinking, but thinking that just to allow that feeling, not that situation what happened, but just the feeling of that pain, and that converts itself. So that's a very powerful transformational tool. Yeah.
Best advice ever received?
Best advice
ever received?
Yes. Best advice I ever received was, whatever you're doing will make sense to you after a while. So don't doubt, don't judge yourself, keep doing it.
What are the bad recommendations that you hear in your profession or area of expertise?
Bad recommendations are usually band-aid treatments also. That you can, without hard work, without a discipline, bad recommendations are you can have what you want at any time. It's not possible. Yeah. The world has millions of things. You have to still choose according to your own soul. Like, it's not like you go to a candy store, everything's there, so you have to buy the whole candy store. Yeah. So that's really bad situations when people teach you that you can have what you want. My advice is that take what you need from the universe. Don't be greedy. Just because you're here for a short time, you don't need everything. So know your soul, know what you want to do, and then grab things according to what will fit in what you want to do. Just random grabbing is bad news and bad advice. Take what you want, you can do it if you will it, blah, blah, blah. No, you should know yourself, and you must know why you are taking that. If you want to make money, you should know what you will do with the money. Then it's a meaningful life that way. Also, the greed is not there because you have some self-governance, right? So I think bad news is sometimes new age philosophies that, be who you want, that pseudo-freedom without responsibility.
That's not true.
I have never known anybody to be free without responsibility.
Because if anyone would make a movie on your life, what would the title be and what message should it convey?
Oh my God. I think of cat with 9 lives, but 9 lives are, you know how we say cat with 9 lives. But it's like I have lived many lives in one life. And I have died to many lives in one life. So I was different at a certain age, then very different. And it was not just, it was radical differences. Because it was dying many times to situations and karmic fields, and another new karmic field open. So if I was to ever do a movie, it would be somebody who loves dying but never dies. You know, something still remains.
In the last 5 years, what have you become better at saying no to? Maybe distractions, invitations, etc. What new realizations or approaches helped?
No to a lot of things.
Actually, Steve Jobs had an amazing quote. It's not that what 1,000 things that you could do. It's that focus is leaving that 1,000 things that you cannot fit in. Because if you will try to submerge everything, then you're going to mess things up.
I have dropped so much. Like I would say about 95-98% of the life I was. So I see very few people. When I'm eating, I eat very few things at one time. I eat very little. I have very few clothes. If I buy, I give away something. So I have learned to actually say no to almost everything. And when I learned the meaning of the word, because sometimes we're superficial, we say no and then it's yes, bring it. But when you learn to say no, your mind becomes really clear, because now you can see what you said yes to. So, and you can focus on that.
So, are there any tips that you can follow? You know, many times it happens that we don't want to go there, but someone is like, someone's insistence it's like that. So, are there any tips that we can use to avoid such distractions and invitations?
Mindfulness. You have to know what you want from life. Maybe you don't know what you will do at 25 or 30, but you know what you will do this year or next year, and you have an idea of what you want to achieve. According to that, you should choose, because it's otherwise we're like sheep, and the herder comes and whips us all along. And you've seen like cows crossing, they all go in herds and then behind each other. So we don't need to be that. We actually need to only do what fits what we want to do. So say no to everything else. Okay.
When you feel overwhelmed or unfocused or have lost your focus temporarily, what do you do?
Pray. That's instant. My mind goes to God. Whatever I feel at that moment, I may listen to some music that connects me. Sometimes I just put on music and start dancing if I have a lot of energy and I can't rest. So anything like that. I may actually listen to Rumi's poetry, Ghalib's poetry, Hafiz. Anybody who was connected, who was enlightened, who was connected, has the power to instantly connect me also. That's why we have these books and people around us, especially who are living masters. That's why we keep gurus with us. So we never lose our connection, right? So I have lots of tools in my toolbox all the time. So if I start to drop, which will happen in human form, you may drop many times a day. Sometimes, because it's life, it's oscillating energy. So you do need a toolkit, and you need to quickly implement those tools. Yeah.
Because people, whenever they drop, high achievers especially, whenever they drop down for a while, they start beating themselves up.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
actually that's not the way.
No.
That way they will feel disempowered all day.
So there is a difference between high achievers and successful achievers. So high achievers will drop because of their ambition.
Yeah.
People who have reached that level of success know that they will be dropping.
Yes.
They know already.
They anticipate.
They can recognize, and they have the toolkit ready. And they're never arrogant to say, I need help.
Yeah.
They'll call somebody, they'll call a teacher, they'll make that. And mostly activity. If you do nothing, you just let the water run, you hear the sound of the water, or have a quick bath, you will change your energy. But you'll drop many times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course.
It doesn't matter how spiritual you are.
Yeah.
This is life, physical life.
Of course.
Yeah.
If you had just one day to live, what would you do in that day?
Oh, I would not rush. I would let the day offer whatever it wants to that day, because it will be I will give life the opportunity to do whatever with me, because I trust life. So I wouldn't do too much. I would just sit still, enjoy every moment. Whatever life is giving me, I will just have a fare with life that day. That's all I'll do.
What interesting thing you're working on at this point of time? And why is it interesting to you? What's surprising about that? Is anybody else thinking about this?
I'm actually creating a lot of online workshops, because my intention is that people, wherever they are, however they are online, they can actually awaken themselves to these inner depths. And the workshops are all about spirituality, about finance, and about sexuality, and about relationships, and about self-governance. So I'm very excited about that part, putting that out. I'm doing a radio show from Seattle with Dr. Pat. So because we've entered a brand new phase, it's 2018, everything has changed. Frequencies we've never had. This intelligence we have access to, we haven't had in lifetimes. So, and there's now a shortcut to everything. You can learn things very fast. And you can do many things at the same time. So, but you need to know the new commandments, the new rules and the new codes. So I'm in the process of disclosing the new codes. Yeah, the new rules for 2018.
And when would that be released?
Very soon. I think that we've started already. So maybe another few months, maximum. We've already got them written down, just 7, there are actually 5 codes, 5 declarations. And that's all you need to apply in your life. It's application more so, and understanding, and that's it. So everybody, so it's almost like those enlightened energies are now in us. We just need to have that right password or that code to access that. So that is the code I want to give to people. That you have the enlightened mind, whoever you are, however you are, now use this code to tap into that.
Yeah, a lot of people have iPhone, but they don't know how to use it. Same with the mind. Everyone has, but not everyone knows how to exactly tap into the unlimited power of the mind.
Yes. Also update.
Yeah.
The system has come down already. Those energies have descended, but we need to update to access that. So it's exactly like that. Yeah.
Of course. So how has failure or apparent failure set you up for later success?
Failure has not bothered me because so much, because I've always felt that whatever I have done or has happened to me had a pretty good reason. And I could see the reason while I was doing it. I'm not so outcome based. That my pleasure, my pleasure comes from the journey, not end of the journey. I'm not the type to actually say that when I go to Ahmedabad, I will be happy. Or when I will be 50, I will be rich. Because if I can't enjoy it right now, then I won't enjoy it there.
Yeah.
So I don't have failure, because how can I fail when every moment I'm enjoying something? So how this interview goes, what does it matter how people define it? But we are having so much fun.
Yeah.
So how can we ever fail at anything?
Of course, there is today people need reasons to feel good or feel happy.
Yes.
That is the reason for the unhappiness that they are observing these days.
You're right, because they're outcome based. They're doing things only to get that outcome. When the outcome doesn't come, they miserably go into depression.
When you go to someone and say, how are you feeling? If someone asks, and I'm feeling just awesome, how come? I don't know why, then they'll send you to a mental hospital.
Yeah, what is wrong? Yeah.
What is wrong with this guy? And when you say, how are you? Feeling crappy? How come? Woke up and they'll say, I understand.
Oh, totally, they understand. Yeah.
Actually, this mechanism is totally altered.
It's actually opposite.
Yeah. Okay. If a billionaire gave you 1 billion rupees, how would you spend it besides the parties and Ferraris and so forth? If I asked you to spend 1 billion rupees improving the world, solving a problem, what would you pursue?
I would probably spend money on the youth and cultivate the new mind. And I would actually invest money, if I had to, for education and awakening. And because there's new systems coming, new science, so I think the youth are our future, and high numbers, especially in India.
Yeah.
So if we invest in youth, we've invested in our future.
We'll read some great
That's
books.
the legacy where we need to spend. Yeah.
What are the 1 to 3 books that have greatly influenced your life?
Greatly influenced my life. Oh my God, I would have to think which ones Yogananda's Autobiography of a Yogi, which I never completed. I've only read, but I got something very profound from it, so I stopped reading after that. That was very good for me. What else? I think about the sages. I once actually read a book, The Himalayan Masters. So I could experience a lot of what they were. I have very powerful gifts. I can see things. I know people. I know every soul who's who. I can see things that don't exist. I can go into past, present. So my journey with the sages and the rishis, anytime I read about them, I could experience what they were experiencing. That's been very fascinating to me. Those mystics and
But what are the 3 books specifically that greatly influence your life?
What would the second I'm actually, I haven't read for a long time. So I'm not, I think Eckhart Tolle's book I liked, I'm not sure. Power of Now, but I didn't finish it again because I know him, so I knew so somehow it dropped.
That book is amazing.
I'm wondering what I finished. I'm not sure.
Anyways.
Yeah.
What is the best or most worthwhile investment you have ever made? It could be an investment of money, time, energy, or otherwise.
Best investment that I ever made would be
time, energy,
to
money.
learn.
Yeah.
To learn. Whenever I've learned something, it was my best investment. And also healing, to heal myself. So I could go deeper. Those were my best investments into me.
Yeah. If the glass is empty, you cannot serve water from that.
No.
So
for a person like me, we are always learning and always healing. So self-healing is very important. So that is my greatest investment. Yeah.
If happiness was the national currency, what kind of work would make you rich? When was the last time you experienced total bliss?
Total bliss?
Bliss.
I think that's total bliss. I'm a very passionate person. So I'm excited a lot actually, a lot. So I have many blissful hours probably or moments because I just get very happy or excited, and so I experience a lot of maybe bliss, but bliss is not isolated. The joy of life, I can always experience that. I also experience it in pain. I've experienced bliss in pain too. So it's not, bliss is not separate state for me. Life to me is just blissful. I'm very mindful, very alert. I enjoy that all the time. Yeah.
What makes you happiest? And when you think about it, you cannot help but smile.
Naughty things, when very naughty, when things actually unknown makes me smile a lot. When people are thinking something and I know that their thinking is wrong, I smile a lot. I don't know, I seem to just have a lot of maybe joy in my life, so I do smile a lot. Yeah. I don't need a reason, but I'm very entertained very easily. Yeah.
What's something that used to scare you but no longer does? What has changed?
Darkness. Always I felt scared because I could hear voices, I could feel people talking to me, even dead people, even sages. Sometimes I would get scared. So every time it was dark, in the daytime I was busy doing things, but when it was dark it was hard for me because I didn't know which world I would enter. I had the ability to enter into many worlds, experience different spheres of time. So, but a long time ago actually I started to love the darkness. So I made friends, not made friends, I actually started to love the darkness. So I love the void, I love that stillness. So I don't have that fear of unknown changed now.
Yeah. What has
actually,
changed?
I thrive on the unknown because I feel my entire life is based on unknown. I don't know what that next moment. It's always the unknown. So, and when you leave something behind, it goes back into the unknown.
Yeah.
So either way, you're always in the unknown, just a slight threat of presence.
Yes.
Slight,
If you could start your life all over again and change one thing, what would you change?
What would I change? I would, if I could start, I would probably, it took me quite a while to be comfortable with myself. I would actually probably change that. I would become more comfortable, more sure of myself. I don't know how I would do that, but that's what, because I hate being uneasy and uncertain. Yeah. So.
What one thing have you not yet accomplished that you really want to do?
Many things. Many things. There's many things in the unknown that I can't even imagine what all exists. So I know there's lots more to accomplish, more to do, more people to meet, more situations. So lots more to happen. Yeah.
What is the definition of consciousness according to you?
Consciousness, it's really hard to put words to it, but the easiest way I would say it is that everything I see, everything I feel, everything I touch is only one, not even like slight even percentage of what that consciousness is. So it's not people, it's not just the earth, it's not just the planets, it's really everything that exists, that we can ever imagine, everything that has ever existed is all consciousness. So is it the earth planet? No. It's everything floats in consciousness. I can't even fathom that intelligence. I just use the word. It's like using the word God very loosely, Like, how big is it? How big is God? How do you know? Like that. And that's what I thrive. That's why the unknown. Because, and that's what, it's consciousness. It's that level of, I can't even describe. There's no words. But it's too big for me to imagine. Yeah.
So do you have any quotes that you live by or think of very often?
Think of what do I say? I use a Hindi word a lot, which is dafakar, dafakaro, like I won't use it in English. I do use it in English, otherwise I'm on camera. Otherwise, I have very quick few seconds because I can get rid of anything, like dafakar, it's done. To me, it's done. So my quotes are usually around, if you don't want to feel it, just stuff it, get rid of it, like out.
Yeah.
So those quotes, yeah.
Okay. Any advice to your younger self?
My younger self, I'm still young.
Maybe 5 years earlier.
Okay, 5 years. Okay, 5 years earlier. 5 years earlier, if I was to actually, again, I'm just kidding, I'm not that young actually. If I was to give advice to myself, I would just say that live with your eyes closed, have blind faith, because you are too guided, you'll never go wrong. Yeah. I say that to everybody, that if they can, just tune in, they're absolutely fine.
God's delays are not God's denials.
No, there's all kinds of mechanism. Your human body is built with everything you need. You just have to go into your consciousness. It'll deliver what you need.
Yeah.
So it's a full-blown, developed mechanism. Yeah.
Little known fact about you?
Little known. I don't want to tell you that. A little. Little known. I have many things that I do that I don't share. I'm a bit weird. I think different weird too. So I love death. People would not imagine, but I have fascination for death.
Everyone has.
Yeah, I have great fascination. Yeah.
Most favorite movie?
Most favorite movie? I don't know. I guess. I like that. What is his name? Beautiful Mind.
Yeah,
I like that a lot. Yeah, there's many, but
there are many.
I really like that. Yeah.
Best song that you love?
Best song. I'm always singing. So every time I sing, I have a little addiction. If I like a song all day, many days, I sing only that. That becomes my best song. Then I forget that song and I move on. So I don't know if I have one best one. I like lots of songs.
Okay. Any favorite documentaries?
I like space documentaries. I like science. I like NASA documentaries, a lot. I don't watch too many of those. I do like historical. Yeah, I like whether it's Egyptian, whether it's a lot of historical documentaries too. I watch also documentaries on some great people, but also I have watched on notorious people. I find them very fascinating. I just watched on the drug wars from Colombia, very fascinating. So I do watch a lot of, I like also movies that are true stories.
Yeah.
They inspire me, good or bad, they inspire me. Yeah.
Last book you read that really fascinated you?
Oh my God, last book I don't think I have read for a long time. Yeah. And I'm waiting to read one. I hope I get my hands on. You know what? I may read a fiction. I think I'm drawing towards fiction now.
Fiction is the greatest miracle in the world. That's amazing. That's
Yeah?
Ugman,
Oh, I haven't read that. Okay.
That book is amazing.
I will, read that.
Who have influenced your life more than your dad?
More than my dad? Everybody. I was brought up with a lot of people. My parents were just one part, but I spent a lot of time with cousins, with help, with dogs. I love dogs. I talk to dogs all the time. I think my best friends were dogs because I spoke to them. So it's hard to imagine, but I spoke to plants. I knew always which plant, how many leaves will come, how many leaves will die. So I had into I had many people. I was not brought up just by one. So I have a lot of, yeah.
If you could take only 3 things with you, there could be anything, for a trip to an island, what those 3 things would be?
I would take some music. I would not take a book because I may write a book there. So I think I will take some music. I will take some pani puri, golgappas. No, just kidding. Pizza, no. I love food, so I will take some food for sure. Chips or something. I don't know. I don't know what I would do.
Okay.
I would not take too much, but I would find somebody there who has everything. So.
What do you often say to yourself, or how does your self-talk generally look like?
Self-talk?
Yeah.
Shabash, you did really good. I don't have self-talk too much.
You just said that you talk with...
But I talk to someone, and then they talk back. So that is something. I don't have like inside conversation.
Yeah, that's inside noise is not...
I don't have that.
Yeah.
But outside I talk to everything. Like I would, if I start to look at the pillow, this will tell me who sat on it, what happened here, what happened in the room, who's unhappy. So everything talks to me. So I have to be very careful that I don't start a conversation. Because if I do, plant will talk, this will talk. If I talk to this, look at this, I'll know all your history. So for me, it's everything's talking, the whole universe. Everything has a voice and has a message and has a song to sing.
Yeah.
Everything is singing a song. I can participate or not, that's up to me. Yeah.
Okay, if you could send a message to the entire world in just 60 seconds or less, what would you say?
I wouldn't say anything. I'd just breathe with a smile.
Okay.
I don't want to impose any words on them. I would give them the freedom to think, and I would just be peaceful and just smile.
Okay. What is that one thing that you would most like to change about yourself or improve on?
I don't have that either, because I don't have a big desire list like people do. I don't know what I would change.
But any habit that you think you need to do something or improve on?
No, if I'm very strong. Whatever I want to do, I do. So it's not like I'm bound by something else. I don't have that.
If you could eliminate one thing from your life, what would it be?
I don't. Again,
Everything in life has a purpose.
It's being eliminated already. I'm not doing a thing. It's life itself has a way of adding things and taking away things. Why should I waste my time? It's already doing its job. So,
Okay. Message for any stranger?
message for stranger?
Yeah.
There's no strangers. There's only friends. So it's friends we haven't met before.
Yeah. It's
So,
like 5 people you meet in heaven.
Yeah.
That story itself
Yeah.
suggested this beautiful
But
message.
every person you actually lay your eyes on, you see, is connected to you. Every person who has not met you is still part of you. So you actually are totally among friends, even when it feels like an enemy. Everybody is connected, and you need everybody, and they need you.
Yeah.
So
any message for them?
I think just stay connected and, just smile. When you smile, your heart opens. And
it's like there is a beautiful couplet
yeah,
in
things
Hindi.
get done.
बेझिझक मुस्कुराइए चाहे जो भी. There is a beautiful
Yeah,
couplet
yeah,
in Hindi.
yeah.
बेझिझक मुस्कुराइए चाहे जो भी गम है, जिंदगी में टेंशन किसको कम है, अच्छा बुरा तो केवल भ्रम है, क्योंकि जिंदगी का नाम ही कभी खुशी कभी गम है.
there you go. So just smile. Yeah.
Okay.
Even when my meditations actually also end with that. That let there be, I start with children always, let there be no child without a smile. let there be no person without a smile. That's all my message will ever probably be. Yeah. So if we can give a smile.
Smile is the most beautiful
Yes.
thing that you could let anyone.
And it is harsh when you rob somebody's smile.
So do you have anything to say to your audience who is listening or reading you at this point of time?
If they like what I've said, follow me. There's a lot more to be said.
Okay. Final words of advice or your closing words?
God bless. I think everything's perfect. We just live it with a smile.
Okay,
great.
Much,
thank you guys who joined in, and I hope it was exciting for you too. It was certainly exciting for me. And I see some people have joined from Canada, so the time, that's really late night or early morning there. So great to have you guys, and share this video if you feel inspired, and we will come back to you shortly. Thank you.